What's guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're interacting to the 9th episode of Saint's Magic Power is Omnipotent. This one's titled Saint. Hopefully when we get to the end of this episode, we'll actually have an English translated title. Again, the past two episodes, Funimation doesn't really want to tell you what the next episode is. I don't know why the subtitlers aren't translating that bit. Maybe they just forget it exists, or maybe because it's not actually a voiced line, they don't think to do it. They just see that all the audio is done and like, oh, I'm done with translating. But hopefully not this time. We'll see. I will obviously try and endeavor to look it up for you guys that don't see it, trying to avoid spoilers and such by looking up things. But yeah, last time out we discussed the idea of the saintly saintly conjury. Is that, or the saint's conjury? I forget the actual wording of it. I think it's the saint's conjury, which is a very unique magic spell, essentially. Very little is known about it, or how to cast it, or anything of its effects, really, and they seem to vary potentially. But we also link that to the ability to maybe imbue the herbs and stuff that we're using to make potions, rather than actually adding the magic at the point of creating the potion. We're imbuing the magic into the herb itself, and therefore, since we have 50% effectiveness on pretty much everything we do when it comes to magic use, we could maybe put that 50% into the herbs, and then anyone could make 50% better potions out of them, rather than just Sei. So that'd be quite a big step forward, because currently Sei is the only one who can make these 50% potions, which are going to the knights and such, to heal them up from their excursions and stuff out into the forests. But being able to outsource that would be kind of interesting. And we do eventually get to the point of casting it. We don't quite know what the trigger is, but it seems very much to be attached to our emotion and that feeling of wanting to protect others, especially when we come to the second casting of it. But in that first one, we're also thinking about all the people around us, and it's that sense of feeling that really triggers it, rather than like a specific incantation or anything. It seems to be very much tied to the feeling that the caster's going through, at least. At least in that instance, it just imbued the herbs. Maybe for a limited time. It was kind of hard to tell if it was just a limited time where it's like, oh, they eventually faded, like the magic that you imbued into them eventually dissipated into the rest of the environment, because all living things have some form of magic in them. It's just a case of how much it is. So imbuing the herb that already has the magic in it, it can obviously take magic, but how long can it maintain that level of magic, for example? Would be a worthy experiment, of course. And probably something they did in the testing of that after that first casting. But the second casting came when we were on our expedition. So we've been called up for an expedition. We're making some good progress on it. We've got, obviously, Grand Magus with us, as well as Hawk. He's been escorting us all this time. Good boy. Honestly, when I first saw this show and the cast list that came with it, and especially the tags, it very much seemed like a reverse harem type show. I really think calling this a reverse harem is kind of... I wouldn't agree with that at this point anymore. Like, I don't think this is a reverse harem show. A reverse harem show would be something like what Villainess did. Quite clearly, there is romantic... Well, she doesn't really have romantic attraction. Well, she kind of does with most... Well, yeah. She has romantic attraction to every character she's with. Like, boy, girl, whatever. She has romantic attraction to all of them. They all have romantic attraction to her, in a sense. That is a reverse harem. But this one I would not consider, because it's quite clear that her and Hawk is the main couple, and almost certainly will be the couple. Like, if they even try and deviate from that, I will be surprised. Whether they even commit to it, though, highly doubt it. I doubt they'll make that much progress this season. Maybe they would in like a season 2, go like Snow White and the Red Hair type route with it, where that became much more concrete by the second season. I don't know. I don't think the romance is necessarily the main focus of this show right now. Main focus is probably going to be on figuring out how to... Well, we're quite clearly the Saint at this point. There's no doubt about that. The question is what happens to Kyle and Ira and things like that. I imagine news of this event is probably going to travel fast to Kyle, and he's going to have to make a decision. He's still playing the villain right now. He's having to play the villain because he thinks that's the best way to protect Ira. He thinks it's the best way. It really isn't, but he's doing what he thinks is the best, even if it means painting himself in a bad light, as long as she's happy. I worry it might backfire on him and she might become less happy because of his actions, but we'll see with that one. I don't know if we're going to see that perspective or not today. I feel like we'll just be a continuation of where we left off last time with the Saints Country being activated, saving Hawk, who had just been bitten by this huge, like, what was it, like salamander thing? I forget what they actually call it. But it was messing him up, and that's what triggered it, that feeling of having to protect him. Very much showing that she really does care about him, which might be leading to more romance route as well. But I think if that had been anyone that was just getting devoured like that, I think it would have activated. But the fact it was Hawk really activated it. Just wipes out all the beasts around us, cleared the miasma that was in like the rivers and stuff and on the ground, and really purified this area. Basically saying, yeah, bitch, I'm the saint. To all intents and purposes. So, yeah. I guess we'll see what the aftermath of that is this episode, and where else we probably go with that. So, as per usual, these are time-based format reactions here on YouTube. If you want to see the full picture-in-picture, go to my Patreon down in the description below. £4 a month gives you access to all picture-in-picture reactions I do on the channel, which is everything from the kind of seasonal lineup, as well as Patreon request shows such as World Trigger, which will be straight after this. We also have movie reactions, and currently ongoing right now is the monthly movie poll for June to vote on which movie we watch this month. There's a list of 6 movies. You can find them on my Patreon or on my Discord as well. Vote for one or more movies that you would like to see, and we'll see how that goes. I think it's kind of a 2-horse race at this point between Promare and Pancreas, I think was the other one. I think it's between those two right now. We'll see by the end of the season, or end of the week, where that ends up going, but you can have your vote on there right now. But yeah, here on YouTube, though, we do time-based. So bottom left of the screen, you'll see a time for the episode. I'll count down 3, 2, 1, play. Play, you start the episode. I start the episode. We should be in sync. Watching this one on Funimation as per usual, since they're the ones who license it. We have the Katakawa logo and then the Funimation logo, so about 10 seconds logos, give or take. I'll call them out as they go past, but you can also see a screen flash on my face, the mic, or this part of my headset to tell when the scenes are transitioning. So, with all that said, let's get into this week's episode, shall we? In 3, 2, 1, play. Katakawa. Funimation. Cheers. Here we go. Yep. Yeah, that tracks. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Going a bit too far now. Yes, thank you. So they are all in the same cage. Good. Cage? Carriage. Jesus Christ. Yes. Mm-hmm. No Peter. Okay. Now I guess we see where we end up going. Obviously that news is going to spread so rapidly. If it had only been them two that had known, obviously it would have been tight-lipped, but it's all the soldiers there that were present with them, so... We still have that one character left to introduce as well, apparently. I have no idea in what capacity, though. This shot makes a lot more sense now with the Gold Sparkles coming up. Alright, here we go. Yep, rumor spread very quickly. So 9-6. Yeah. Saints Conjurer, yeah. Oh, it really is. Hmm. Right, yeah. Hmm. Hmm. Mm-hmm. Trying to imbue with magic again. Yeah. Hmm. Yes. Okay. Standing up against him. Hmm. Hmm. Yep. Uh. Hmm. I mean, naturally, but. Hmm. Hmm. Right. Doubling down on it. God damn it, Kyle. Yep. Alright. Oh, yep. Yeah. Yeah. Hmm. Um, just abandoned. Yep. Oh boy. Don't you dare. Thank you. Thank you. Good man. Nope, father's here. Thank you. Went to get father. Okay. Oh, this is gonna become a big scene. This is gonna become a big scene. And the king's acknowledging her as the saints. Ooh, that carries a lot of weight. Sure. Like he's gonna believe that. Mm-hmm. And he's gonna spin it, yeah. Mm-hmm. Why do you think that lie would work? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You can't win this one, Kyle. Mm. Uh. Yeah. Yeah. A formal statement. Hmm. Yeah, let's get out of the public eye right now. Ashley as well, okay. Say we don't need you right now. God, you need to speak to Ira. She almost spoke up for a second there. It's probably best that you don't right now, though. Say, this is your chance. You need to speak to Ira right now. You need to speak to her at least once. Okay, we're actually going to see this conversation good. Hmm. Taking responsibility. Hmm. Yeah. Okay. Still just trying to give her. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Under house arrest. Okay. And his companions. Um. Hmm. Second prince being in charge. I don't know how I feel about that. We haven't met the second prince, have we? Hmm. I mean, yeah. Hmm. 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 Uh-huh. Bit of a tsundere as well, then. No. Hmm. That situation got resolved way quicker than I expected. Hmm. 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 That did get resolved a lot quicker than I expected. Now I'm worried about the second prince because, well, well. Hey, okay, finally. Finally gonna be able to talk to her. Mm-hmm. Mm. Yeah, what would you like to do? Keep studying magic? Okay. Mhm. I think they will. Mm-hmm. I think that's the likelihood in the future. Could always join for tea. Hmm. Yay. Okay, serious time now. They will have expectations for her to go solve it. Hmm. Klausner? Could this be the final character we have not seen in the OP? Ooh, large producer of herbs, okay. We absolutely need to secure that, otherwise we can't keep fighting. That's a very important one to keep. Yeah, again. Hmm. The Alchemist's Holy Land, okay. Hey, he's here. No, I think you're in. Oh, already done. Uh... but wheeling hard. uh, love it. Okay. Yeah, no need to be so. Mm-hmm. So she's gonna want to go. 2 weeks. Like, well, that's quite a while, actually. Yep, she wants to go with him. Yeah, she's thinking she has to go as well. I mean, yeah. Mm-hmm. Learn more about herbs, help keep the supply going, because you can't learn if there's none to learn from. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was bound to happen anyway. Hmm. Interesting. Obviously. But she's also their greatest asset against the miasma, right? So, I mean, if she's unsuccessful, she's dead, and you lose the Saint, so. Mm-hmm. And episode, and episode. Alright. Don't think there's an after credits, although there might be. It's a bit longer, like 17 seconds at the end of the episode. I didn't think there was normally that much, but. But yeah, approaching the last 3 episodes now. I assume that one character from the OP is going to get introduced as a problem. Maybe a bandit of some sort? I don't know. Because I'm sure there are bandits and stuff out there. It's not just monsters you have to deal with. Yeah, one last big arc. Our travel there. I assume the travel itself will be part of it. I don't think we're just gonna fast forward through the travel. Depends if there are like bandits or someone to intercept us. I mean, they said that the journey itself isn't exactly easy, so kind of leads to expectations, right? Alright. After credit. Kind of rare for this show. Oh, we're already on a journey. Wait, we just skipped the travel entirely? I guess so. Episode 10. Funimation, what are you doing? 3 weeks in a row. Okay, give me a second. Episode 10, Diary. It is Diary, for those of you who want to know, because... yeah. Okay. Funimation, like, what is going on here? Like, what is going... How? How is this still happening? 3 weeks in a row. I genuinely do not know how that's possible. I can only assume that whoever they have translating the show only translates dialogue, does not know how to translate written language for Japanese. That's the only thing I can think of that would explain why this keeps happening, because we've never really had, like, actual, like... No, that's a lie. We get the episode titles at the beginning of the episode, and they're translated. I guess whoever just does the translations just doesn't check the very last screen. That's the only thing I can think of. I'm going to go back. I'm going to go back to last week's episode. I just want to see if it's been corrected since then. Like, if it's something that, like, isn't done on the day, but then gets fixed later as people realize. Or if it's just never done. I need to check now, just for my own sanity. Let's see here. Alright, so... end of episode 8. No, they just never bothered to do it, okay. They just never actually, put the episode titles at the end. But they did beforehand, right? Like, earlier episodes they did. Maybe they changed who was doing the subtitles for this show? And that had an effect on, that had an effect on that? I genuinely have no idea how that's possible. I genuinely have no idea. Anyway, it was a decent episode. I'm surprised the Kyle and Ira stuff got sorted so quickly. I mean, really, it didn't need that long to get sorted, so I guess it kind of worked out well that it was done that quickly, but I wonder where they're going now, because the OP, there's that one character left to introduce. I can only assume that's who we're going to meet and potentially be... I guess that's the only potential point of conflict now, is that. But I guess we'll see what this last arc has to do with it. We've got 3 more episodes. This one's going to probably be some building of the of our new area and what to expect. Maybe introduce that next character. Then the last 2 will be our final point before we kick off the end of the season. I wonder if we'll get a season 2 of this. I'm not expecting a season 2 of this necessarily. This doesn't seem like the type of show that would get a season 2 in a weird way. I say that about a lot of shows, though. After having so many expectations and looking forward to so many sequels to shows, I've gotten to the point where I don't really expect sequels anymore unless it's a really big franchise. Like Jujutsu Kaisen, I knew there'd be more. They went the movie route like Demon Slayer, which is understandable. I think movies always do well from a profit margin standpoint compared to an anime, at least in a direct form. But you need the anime to build up an audience because you watch it on TV, therefore it's much more accessible than a movie where you have to pay up front to go see something that you may or may not enjoy. But if you've already got your audience captured into the show, and then you go to the movie, like the movie's all guaranteed to have some degree of turnout, right? Even if it does end up being a relatively poor movie, at least you get that turnout from the beginning. Like, if Demon Slayer started as a movie, like they just put a movie out and then put a series after it, I don't think it would have had necessarily as explosive a growth as it ended up having. So I think them putting the series out, which became lauded, then put the movie out, which became this huge deal, I think that was ultimately the correct way for them to go. But I guess we'll see what happens to sequels. We're getting into sequel season now. It's going to be... Yeah, I would say, well, first show of the season that ends is How Not to Summon the Demon Lord, and that ends next Thursday. Right? Yeah, that ends next Thursday, so... Yeah, Thursday the 10th of June is when I put the last episode of How Not to Summon the Demon Lord up. Which means around the 9th, 10th, somewhere, you'll see news if they want to put a third season out. I doubt it, but I guess we'll see. I mean, the novel's still going, so there is potential for it, and I'm sure this series is popular in its own right. I mean, it is popular over here because it's ecchi fan service. It probably has its fair amount of fans and dedicated fans of that want to buy merch and stuff, but I guess, yeah, anywhere from Wednesday the 9th through to the start of next season, we're going to start seeing potentially more and more sequel announcements and things like that. So keep an eye out for those. Hopefully, maybe this show might end up being one of them as well. But that's going to do it for you guys. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed that one as per usual. Leave a like if you did, as well as your comments what you thought of the episode. Don't forget to hit subscribe to see next week's episode, as well as the rest of the Spring 2021 light we can find here on the channel. Thank you for watching. Until next time. See you guys later.